What's up? What's up? What's up? Peace, love, and respect, BlaK Family. Peace, love, and respect. We got a podcast. So, welcome to the BlaK Family Podcast. For those that have been following me since I've been doing the speaking and teaching, and I talked a lot on Black history. I talk a lot about the divine feminine order. I talk about a lot about energies. So now, for those that's been following me since 2024, for those that have been following me since 2012, and for those that had been following me since 2017, welcome to the BlaK Family Podcast. For those that are going to be new, welcome. So y'all know how I like to do. I like to roll right into it. So today I'm going to be talking about the matrilineal. I'm going to be talking about what is family. Because we all have a perception of family. We all have a belief of what family is, but what is family truly? So I want to break down BlaK family. BlaK family to me, let's break down the word black. Black is feminine. Black is divine. When you look at the yin and yang, you will know that the yin is black and it is feminine. So black is feminine. Let's talk about family. Family is a group. Family is two or more people that are taking care of each other. Family is community. So BlaK family to me is a feminine, divine community. So just to break that down for you, everything I talk about, whether it be from family, whether I'm giving new words, a new perspective, there is research on everything that I talk about, and it will be in the description on every video that I post. So you guys can follow me here on YouTube at the BlaK Family Podcast, as well as I will have links to my TikTok and also to my Instagram so that you guys all can follow me. So welcome once again to the BlaK Family Podcast. What is family? Like I said, I want to talk about the matrilineal. I want to talk about how everything was the mother and is supposed to be the mother. The matrilineal is trace descendants and inheritance through the mother's line. This gave women considerable power and autonomy. So everything was passed down from the mother's lineage. What is a patrilineal? That's everything passed down from the father's lineage, right? But I want to talk about precolonial times. So family, I'm going to talk about precolonial women and what their duties was. Because I said it already that women are the protectors, leaders, providers, and nurturers. Women are the teachers. Women are the providers. Women are the caregivers. Women are the ones that take care of the household. women are the educators, women are the workers. This is not new because women have always been doing this. So that's why I wanted to break it down. Let's get into an age grade system. Organize society in cohorts based on age and life stage. Women progress through different ranks and responsibilities as they age. Provide structure for education, labor division, and social organizations. Ensure intergenerational knowledge transfer and community. Example of this is that the women were the ones who made sure that there was always an order. So by age, like how we always talk about elders, so by age, women will make sure that the generation that was coming after them, they will make sure that it was organized. Like it says, organized society, right? Let's talk about political roles of women. Women held significant political power in many pre-colonial societies, challenging assumptions and gender and leadership. These roles demonstrate the complex and varied nature of women's status across the continent. Understanding these political systems provided insight into leadership, capabilities, and traditions. Now that's interesting, family, because when you look at politics today, it's mainly dominated by men. But in pre-colonial times, the women held the political roles. And men will tell you, well, women are not fit to be politicians. But pre-colonial women, this was innate to them. So there's something else that we can challenge: the authority and also the fibs of men. Female rulers and monarchs. Several societies had traditions of female monarchs and co-rulers. The queen mother held significant power in many kingdoms. Mother. I want to get into mother because we talk a lot about, oh, the father is the one that's important. The father is the one that should be in the house. But what's interesting, family, is that there is nothing here that says father. Father is a made-up term for men that knew that if they didn't make this father figure, that they were going to be pushed out and had to be in the wild. And if they would have left women alone, women would have got back to a matriarch. Mother Earth, Mother Nature, the motherlands, everything is of the mother. The mother rule. There is no father nature. There is no father earth. Even when the natives prayed to the moon, they called it Mother Moon. So we have Mother Nature, we have Mother Earth, we have the Mother Rule, we have the Motherlands, we have the Queen Mothers. Everything was of the mother. Where does this father come in from? Well, it was created by the government. The government had to create father because men in their male nature, they were killing each other up so bad to the point where they even understood that they were being outnumbered. If you look from the 20s to the 70s, there were less men. That's why they had to start the gender wars in 1970. I'll get into that because a lot of you think that that was about race. That was not about race. That was about gender. That was about men fighting for their existence because women no longer wanted to take the crap of men, so they were aborting them. And I know you hear men say that because women did not want to deal with the violent nature of men. So what do you do when you have these men who are aggressive, who are violent by nature, and you don't have nowhere to put them? You call them a father. You force them to be husbands. And you force these predators around women and children. Precolonial women, they did all of the work. They did everything. They did not father figure no man. There were men there. And men only had the role of hunters and procreators. And that was it. They did not let these men in the home around women and children. It was women taking care of the children, women taking care of the responsibilities, women taking care of the duties. They did not usher men into the house and try to paternalize them. They did not do that. Women in decision making, many societies, including women in important governing bodies, women's council often held veto power over decisions affecting the community. The reason why the community is in such shambles is because women are looking for males to do something that they're supposed to be doing. The reason why males are having a hard time taking back the community is because it's not in their nature. It was not in their duties. They were not born to do so. And that's why you see many communities in shambles, because it was the women that counseled the communities. Why? Because women have the portal to life. Study shows that women are fair. Study shows that males are not fair. Women are social. Study shows that males are antisocial. So even though you have a lot of men, they will be doing a lot of yelling in the community and stuff like that. Nothing's getting done because being sociable is really not their skill. And when I talk about the portal to life, a lot of these women were very, very spiritual mothers. They will use their portal, which is the womb. This is why the woman is considered the woman. Every woman here is considered the woman. It was the male that changed their name because woe means chaos. So he would rather for you to be in chaos than to have life. Even though males pollute the woman's womb so that they can get here, they called you woe. Now the word woe is chaotic. So women counsel the communities because they are more fair. They can see. You have many women that were healers. You have many women that were spiritualists. You have many women that were seers that can see what's going on. Men do not have this ability because they do not have the portal to life. Trade and commerce. Women dominated local and regional trade networks in many areas. And now that's interesting because I talked about women being fair. We are living in a time where there is many shortage. And the reason why we have a shortage, because now all of these fields are male dominated. Males by nature are not fair. They will do anything just to win. Women specialize in specific goods like textiles, pottery, and palm oil. Form powerful trading guides and associations. Long distance trade often conducted by women. Market women held significant economic and political influence. It was always the women that held the most influence. Women today have the most influence on music, on art. When you look at all of the art that has ever been created, they all have been created by women. They had to use men's name. So if a woman's name was Allison, her art may be Allen. If a woman's name was Betty, she will use the name like Brett or Bill. Because men made sure that women's creativity, artistry, intellect, abilities were completely destroyed. Women have been living their lives as if they are the mouse chasing after the cheese, not understanding that you are a creator. You create life. Crafts and artisanship, my bad. Women excelled in various crafts and traditions. Pottery making was often a female-dominated industry. And I'm pretty sure the pottery industry is male-dominated now. Women were this female-dominated industry. They were weaving and dyeing, and also had the cloth production, specialized in food processing techniques, passed down skills through generations, preserving cultural knowledge. Passing down skills through generation. Today, the most thing people are passing down is generational trauma. Why? Why do we have all of this trauma? Well, I'm going to tell you, family, we have all of this trauma because simply we're out of order. And we've been out of order for a long time. This patriarchy order that you guys all want, it has been failing, but yet you guys have been wanting and wanting and wanting it. And it's failing. It's harming the communities. It doesn't do anything for anyone. It has harmed numerous of children who are now adults and who are doing the same thing to their children. Why? Simply out of order. That's why. Because you want to be in a patriarchal system that says the man should be the ruler of the household, and since the government made the man the ruler of the household, we have been going through hell ever since. You have women who are cooking, cleaning, taking care of all of the children. It's the women that are the workers. It's the women that take care of the household. It's the women that go up to the schools. It's the women that care about the children's education. It's the women that got to get 2 to 7 children ready in the morning. It's the women that miss out on sleep, dealing with the newborn babies. It's the women that have to put up with every cry, every harm, everything that goes on in the community. But what's happening is you have one woman per household that is trying to take on all of this work. Why? Due to the nuclear family fantasy. That's right, family. I said it. The nuclear family fantasy. Man, woman, and child. That's isolation. That's isolation and generational trauma. Precolonial women, they were 15 to 20 women in the household taking care of the children. You didn't have no children fiending for something that's not. You didn't have children in there talking about, I don't have this, I don't have that. You let them limit these babies to 2 parents. And one of them was and is incapable of doing all the things that y'all want him to do. Why? Because he simply wasn't born to do so. Children wasn't fiending for no father. Patriarchy started because of the government. Pre-colonial women, they didn't even play that. Once you get done procreating, that's it. Back to the woods you go. They didn't play that. They didn't play that at all. And them kids wasn't running around, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that. They had 15 parents. Yep. Kids in pre-colonial times, they had 15 parents. And they all was women. And why do you think men make fun of you as a single mother? Men know the original order. It's women that don't know. Men know the original order. I seen a man on TikTok. I've been seeing a couple of them talk about the woman and talk about how it was. And men had to go through a whole divine feminine ritual to procreate. Because women don't understand, however that man is, that is what's going to go inside that baby. What's wrong with children today? Anxiety, fear, anger, lack of education, wishing, wanting, needy. Why? Because the man that you have intercourse with, you have to understand, however he is, if he's too anxious, that baby's going to be anxious. If he's angry, that baby's going to be angry. See, everybody had it backwards when they said, oh, however the mom, if the mom is like that, no. Because you have to understand, as the woman, your womb is protected. His sperm cells are not. That's why most of them die out. Your womb is protected because it is earth. Precolonial women understood that. So that's why that man will have to go through a whole divine feminine ritual to even procreate after he got done competing, because those men had to be intellectually capable, physically capable, emotionally capable, and spiritually capable. They were about quality over quantity. And that's why they did rituals. It was very important to them. You couldn't just be out here thumping on each other and then making these babies. And that's what's happening today. Y'all out here just procreating, making quantity, but y'all not making quality people. That's why so many people got cockroach behaviors. That's why so many people got rat behaviors. That's why so many people got possum behaviors. Because the way you creating these babies, you creating them out of fear, anxiety, lust. You too anxious. You got fear. How you gonna raise children and you're fearful? Look at the men in the black community. How they gonna raise children and they scared of a uniform? Pre-colonial women understood this. They understood quality over quantity. Religious and spiritual leadership. Religious and spiritual leadership. It was the women. Women held significant roles in the spiritual life. These positions often granted women considerable social and political influence. Understanding these spiritual traditions provides context for the religious practice and beliefs. Now, the patriarchal society says that the man should be the one preaching. Look at in the black community how many of these men been preaching, and the more they preach, we all been dying. Men were never supposed to be preaching. Men are not subjugated into religion. Women are. Women are the ones who are spiritual. Women are the ones who know what's up. Women are the ones that knew what was about to go on and what was about to happen. That's why if you notice, you'll notice that all of these pastors, they used women to make their church popular. And when I say subjugated, men used religion to pollute the womb of women. Look what Farrakhan did. Farrakhan sat up and said that religion is for men. And it is. Being spiritual is for women. Religion is for men. Being spiritual is for women, and religion is for men. Throughout the Holy Bible, it talks about men not being harsh to their wives. Why does it say that? It's because men needed to be tamed. And Farrakhan sat up there and said that in numerous of his sermons. You can challenge me if you want to, but I was raised Muslim. That's all we watched was Farrakhan. And then when we switched to Christianity, we watched T.D. Jakes and the rest of those fools. Farrakhan said that don't be mean to your wife. Don't put your hands on her. You need to be kind to your wife. Now, for men that have love in their hearts and that are caring, why would another man need to tell them that? Why would the Bible need to tell them that? Why in precolonial times, why the women did not want the men in the house with the women and children? Because of their nature. Their nature is violence. Their nature is aggression. Their nature is antisocial. That's why you have a hard time getting them to talk to you. They don't want to talk to you. Hell, they can't talk to you. Why you won't talk to me? Well, he don't know how. It's not in his nature. Priestess and diviners. Women served between the physical and the spiritual worlds, held positions of high status and authority in many communities, performed important rituals and ceremonies. Important rituals and ceremonies. Dual-sex political systems ensured women's voices were heard in governance. Age and status often determine a woman's role in these councils. And as you can see, they made sure that there was always an order. What I notice about people today, they do not like order. And when you talk about order, these people, they don't even want to listen to you when you talk about order. When you talk about structure, when you talk about getting back to something that actually works, they don't want to hear that. Both male and female don't want to hear the true order. They don't. And when you tell them, they say, oh, yeah, Tina, I know, but we could try it this way. And the way that people want to try it, they've already done it and it failed. Let's talk about the nuclear family fantasy. Look at all of the men that were touching the children inappropriately, beating on their wives, became nothing but drunks, were kidnapping children, were sexually assaulting women in their own household. And this stuff is still happening today. There are women that are married to child molesters. Why? Because women believe in a male society. Women will usher in predators into their home and let these people around their children. Women, due to desperation, will go get a man who has no home, no property, no pension, no job, and bring him in around her babies just to let everybody know that she got a man. A homosexual is always going to be the most abusive. What is a homosexual? A homosexual is a man who don't have a home, don't have a job. He done burned up every bridge. He done burnt up the bridge at his mother's home. He done burnt up the bridge at his siblings' home. More than likely, he's a career felon. So he can't get no job. And the jobs that he can get, he don't want to work those. Because most of them can get jobs. They just don't want those jobs. They will quit their jobs purposely so they can have you take care of them. So what he will do is he will find the most desperate woman who has low self-esteem, lack of courage, lack of education, and he will sex his way into her home. And while she's at work, working to pay her bills, because he's not going to pay them, he is laying up on her couch that he didn't buy, using up all of her Wi-Fi, watching Netflix, Hulu, and Prime that he don't pay for, eating up all the children's Scooby-Doo snacks, ain't cleaned up, ain't washed his behind, smell like Funyuns and old cheese. And when she get in the house, she's expecting the house to be clean. She's expecting him to do all of these things that she know good and goddamn well he wasn't going to do. Oh, why you didn't take out the trash? Oh, you didn't vacuum? You ate up all the kids' snacks? Dang, you didn't go buy nothing? You didn't do nothing? You know he wasn't going to do nothing, ma'am. You know that. Order. People are allergic to it. Structure. It makes people sneeze because they don't want the accountability nor the responsibility of getting their life together. So they would rather find people that are the most chaotic to keep perpetuating victimhood. Oh, he didn't do this. He won't do that. She's this and she's that and he's this and he's that. And then when you tell them, well, let him go. Oh, I tried, but We're going to see if we could work it out. You ain't trying to work out nothing. Y'all like being out of order. And the people that suffer the most are the babies. The children suffer the most from these adults being out of order. And that's why I started this podcast. Because we must learn structure. I can't just give you solutions and you're not going to follow them. That's what Black folks wanted me to do. You could check out all of my YouTube. I was given solutions and they didn't want it. Why? Lack of discipline and loving to be out of order. Don't want no accountability. So now I'm going to break it down piece by piece of why it is the way it is. What is family? Family is supposed to be the matriarch, not the patriarch. The patriarch is what has destroyed this planet. The patriarch is what has destroyed families. Drug use, lack of parenting, single parent households. That was not because of the mothers. That was because of this falsified father figures who should have never been in the household in the first place. And then when you tell women are so polluted with male philosophies. When you tell them, hey, why don't you go and hire other women to help you with the children? Oh, I'm not gay. Huh? What are you talking about, my dear? Women are the ones that take care of the children. Women are the ones that are the teachers. Women are the ones that are the nurse. Women are the ones that are the early childhood educators. Those that follow me, you know that I'm going to school for early childhood education. And I also just started my job as a first and second grade teacher. To the dork that said I'm not a teacher, I've been a teacher my whole entire life. Ritual specialists. Women often specialize in specific religious practices or deities. Responsible for maintaining shrines and sacred spaces, conducted rituals for fertility, harvest, and protection, played crucial roles in life cycle ceremonies, birth, initiations, deaths. Now, they played a crucial role in this, especially when it says conducted rituals for fertility, harvest, and protection. Now, the maternal death rates for Black women are extremely high. Why? Because women are living in a patriarchy system. And this patriarchal system is killing women and children. And because women are so in love with men, you would rather have all these babies die, all these women die, just so you can keep as many men here. It is an overpopulation of men. Even young boys. I work in a school. This is the first time ever that I've ever been in a school and there's more boys than girls. And what's interesting about that is that Black people's biggest fear is their sons being gay. But every time you turn around, there's more Black people that say, oh, I want a boy. I want a boy. Okay. How you going to say you want boys and that's all y'all want, but you don't want them to be gay, but yet you will get on my comment sections and say that men and women can make babies? Well, if only men are being born, then what? Because study shows that there is a overpopulation of males being born. So then what? A man cannot tell a woman about her body. Men are never going to give birth to children. They never had a menstrual cycle. They don't have breasts unless they are overweight, but they are unable to produce milk. Why, as a woman, why would you sit up and listen to a male tell you about your body that he doesn't even have? Precolonial women didn't even listen to men on stuff like that. They didn't even listen to men. They wasn't even around men. They only used men to hunt, pick some stuff up, and bounce. Y'all are too male-centered. It's killing the planet. It's not healthy. These women would have been able to tell you what's going on with your babies. We have a high rate of autism, Turner syndrome, Down syndrome. Why? Because a mass population of procreation with males who shouldn't even be here on this earth. They shouldn't even be here. They're not healthy. They're not a great fit. They're uneducated. They don't do nothing for the planet. They don't do nothing for the earth. They're not great for the ecosystem. It's just quantity, not quality. And to tell you the truth, if we truly have to narrow it down to quality from male and female, it's about 40% quality women and 7% quality men. 40% quality women, 7% quality men. And they'll tell you, you should choose better. You know why they tell you that? Because they know ain't no better. Ain't no better. If a man is able to get a woman pregnant and he know that he is scum, he has won. Why? Because he know for a fact, if this was male-to-male competition, he will not make it. This world is overpopulated with unqualified people. They say it's 10 billion. I believe it's 21 billion people here on this earth. And it's so many unqualified quantity of people that they have to genetically modify your food. You got people talking about they making our food in labs. They have to. It's 21 billion people here. It's too many people here. In pre-colonial times, they believe in quality. Y'all believe in having degenerate generation. Degenerate generation after generation. One bum person after the next. They never believed in that. It's bad for the planet. Quantity is not great. Quality is. When you have more people on this earth that is qualified, it will literally only be 100,000 to 1,000,000 people. Why they got you paying for apples and grapes, mangoes, dragon fruits, Because to tell you the truth, it's no more. They have to put a price on things that God has given us for free. That's how many people it is here on this earth. And you got people talking about we just need to make babies. I hear men talking about they need more children. They don't. Family, you don't need no more children. Half of you can't even take care of your babies. And I say that respectfully because I know. I've had a hand in helping people and their children for a long time, over 20 years. And the struggling that I see people going through, especially the mothers. I don't got no help, and I don't got this, and I don't got that. And depending on a degenerate male to help them do something that he wasn't even born to do. Men are not caregivers. Men are not nurturers. Men are not providers. Men do not take care of the household. They have sold you on a lie. And every woman here on this earth believed it until you kept getting smacked upside your head. And you got women that are getting smacked upside their head and they still want to believe. Nuclear family fantasy. Nuclear family fantasy. It doesn't exist, my dear. It was false. It was to make sure that men could benefit from your womb. And these pre-colonial women knew, and they didn't take no mess. Now you say, well, what happened? Well, what always happens? Brutality. The men brutalize the women. Like everything else of how people get things taken through brutality. And men will sell you on this whole, I gotta be in your house to protect you. I'm letting you ladies know right now, do not believe that. Men are not here to protect you because they are not protectors. It's the women that are protectors. I showed you the study that women are the ones that are always protecting other women because they need protection from men. Now that's interesting. Then a man will tell you that he's there to protect you, and all of these women that have bought into this lie, they got a domestic violence against their so-called protector. Quit falling for the lies. These folks want to get into your household so they can drain you, so they can take everything from you. And that's what these males do. They take every single thing from you. They take your youth. They pollute your womb. They'll leave you out to dry. Then your skin gonna be bad. Your teeth gonna be yellow. You're gonna be gaining weight. And then what do? They're gonna leave, and then they're gonna talk about you. Save yourself the trouble. Save yourself the trouble, and don't believe the lies the first time. Oral traditions and storytelling. Women were often primary keepers of oral histories and folklore. Used stories to teach moral lessons, history, and cultural values. Employed proverbs, riddles, and songs as educational tools. Preserved genealogies and clan history through oral recitations. And I just told you guys that women are the educators. I work in the schools. I'm a first grade and second grade teacher. The ones that are the teachers and always been the teachers are the women. Women have always been the teachers. The mother is the teachers. They told you that lie and said that Men are the ones that's supposed to be teaching how. They don't even care about education. And study shows that 72% of males can't even read. So if they can't read, how are they going to lead? Family, if they can't read, how are they going to lead? They are the lowest educated, the most incarcerated, the most special educated, and you're expecting them to come and lead you where? They're going to always lead you down a hill. They're going to always lead you in a cave, in the trenches. Why? Because that's not their trait. Leading, protecting, providing, nurturing, and teaching, those are all feminine traits. All you got to do is study the animal kingdom. My aunt used to have myself and my siblings. We used to sit and watch Animal Planet, biology, the National Geographic Channel. And she used to say, study the animals and you can know humans. And what we end up studying is that it's the female that is the leader, protector, and provider. All of those bear attacks are by female bears. Y'all seen how that deer attacked that woman? That was a female deer. It was the female otter that was making sure those people that was filming don't harm her babies. It's the female turtle that will snap at you if you try to go by her eggs. It's the female snake that will unleash the most venom in you because she think you trying to do something to her babies. It's not the male. They don't even mess around with the male like that until it's time for mating season. So how does everyone know? Every female here, from mammal, amphibians, reptiles, the marine kingdom, all the females know that the male is only here to do one thing, and that's procreate and buy. After that, they with the rest of the females. Look at the female lion. The female lions don't even like the male lion like that. They don't even like him. And it literally is only one of him there. And once he get of age, they kill him. They take him up out of there so he won't be touching on the babies. Same thing with the bees. You got the bumblebees. They mate with those males, and guess what? Matter of fact, the drone bees. They mate with those males, and then they throw their asses up out of there. They throw them up out of there. Because at the end of the day, we don't even need you. They ain't sitting there. You don't see the female bee, oh, I'm a single mother. I ain't getting. They don't sit there and do all of that. You never see a lion worrying about being a single female lion. Why? Because all of those female lions right there, they're the ones who take care of the babies. Same thing with the whales. The female whales, they take care of the babies. The female bear, she take care of her babies. And precolonial women, they went by nature. They went by the spirit. Women, you're going based off of what homeless men say. I know it's embarrassing. It's truly embarrassing. And we shouldn't be looking like fools like that. And I'm not calling anybody a fool, but I'm just saying when you listen to someone that is incapable of absolutely nothing, you look silly. You got to stop listening to what these males say, because they're going to have you out here looking crazy. And they do. Humiliation. Humiliation is what I've been seeing. I've been studying, doing a lot of studying. And what I've been studying is more of the female nature. And my analysis is that women are ushering in men to play these roles that they know they can't do, that they know they're unable to do, that they know is not in their traits, is not in their nature, but yet they are trying to force them. That's what I talked about in my last video when I talked about heterosexuality was forced upon us as people. If left alone, everybody here on this earth would be gay. You'll probably have 4 to 7% of heterosexuals. Why? Because opposites don't attract. The same does. That's what homo means. The same is always going to attract. And you can see that out on the playground. The girls always play with the girls. The boys always play with the boys. And even sometimes it'll go by race. It'll go by gender. It'll go by culture. Why? Because you're always going to attract the same. Not the opposite. You have to be forced through media, through religion, and through the government to be heterosexuals, to overpopulate and become this governmental experiment. And now they can't even feed you. And since they can't feed you, now they're going to eradicate you. Skills transmission to youth. Women taught practical skills necessary for adult life. Now that's set in my spirit, because now women are shown to be some of the most uneducated people here. And it's really sad, because there's a lot of women that have degrees, but women are still shown as the most uneducated. And that may not even be based off of paper. That may be based off of when your children go up there and they know, because they set this system up, they know when your babies get to them and they don't know anything about credit cards. They don't know anything about life. They don't know anything about bills. They don't know anything about nothing. That's considered uneducated and untrainable. That's what the military will list them down as, untrainable. When you come into this world and you don't know nothing, you're 18 years of age and you don't know nothing. That's untrainable. But precolonial women, they made sure that their children were prepared. They made sure that they had the rightful skills for adult life. A lot of your children don't even know how to wash their body correctly. But yet you want to procreate. Agricultural technique passed from mothers to daughters. Agricultural technique passed from mothers to daughters. From mothers to daughters. That is what the matrilineal is about. It is about passing everything from your mother, from the mother to the daughters, to the sisters, to the granddaughters, to the nieces, to the females of the family. The brothers, the sons, they didn't get anything because they knew that they were not going to take care of it the way women can take care of it. craft skills, as we touched on, like pottery and weaving, taught through apprenticeship. Now look at that. That really sat in my spirit when they talked about apprenticeship, is because now there is no apprenticeship for women. Not that I know of. I know majority of the apprenticeship has a lot to do with men, from construction, plumbing, mechanic, because those are the things that I heard that are apprenticeship. So women were the ones that had the apprenticeship. So basically what this let me know is men brutalized women and then took everything that women are innately able to do. Men couldn't even work for 2 to 3 years and they crashed. Women can work 20 to 30 years consistently. But y'all want a nuclear family fantasy that keeps crashing. And y'all got these men that'll sit up there, oh, the government came and destroyed the nuclear family. The government is the one that created the nuclear family, silly. And if they did have a hand in dismantling it, they would know how to, because they're the one who created it. Males were never meant to be in the house with women. You were never meant to be in the house. And that's why it was so easy for men to run. Welfare didn't do that, and the feminist movement didn't do that. That is in his nature, to run. He's a male. He don't want to be in the house with you. Welfare and defense. Women's roles in welfare and defense in pre-colonial times. These roles challenge stereotypes about gender and military participation. Understanding these marital traditions provide context in resistance and defense strategies. And they said that these are past. This is pre-colonial timings. Now this is something that is practiced in America. And the interesting thing is that they got it from these women. Women from the Philippines, women from Africa, women from Samoa, women from Hawaii, women from Japan, because all of these traditions come from other countries and continents that had African people. We'll definitely get into that too. Women were warriors and military leaders. Some societies had tradition of female warriors or all-female military units. Women led armies and participated in combat. Look at that. Oh, she's too aggressive. We're the only ones that been fighting. Incomplete and incorrect. Women been warriors. They needed warriors so they can protect their communities from males. Because who else? Support roles in conflicts. Women provided logistical support during times of war, responsible for food production and supplies for armies, acted as spies and gathered intelligence, maintained home defenses while men were away fighting, cared for wounded soldiers, and maintained morale. Look at that. So the women have always been a leading role in every industry, from the trading and commerce to being a warrior, leadership, agriculture. But when they had the nuclear family fantasy, they said that you was only supposed to be in the kitchen. Yeah. Now that's cold. And that's tough. They didn't want you doing nothing. And you want to know what's interesting about you working and doing everything? They knew it was bound to happen because it's in the female's nature to work. It's in the female nature to nurture, provide, lead. And when men want to challenge me, right? Oh, we are protectors, leaders, and providers. I like to ask, of what? Of what? Because half of them ain't even in the house. Majority of them are in jail. I had a man who been in jail his whole entire life tell me he's a protector, provider, and leader. I said, how? You've been in jail your whole entire life. These men have been selling you on a lie and then want you to stroke their egos. They want you to pretend like they're leaders while you're the one that's actually taking care of the household. They want you to slide your credit card up under the table so they can feel like a man. When you gonna stop doing that, woman? When are you gonna stop doing that? Because these pre-colonial women are letting you know you never had to do that. You was always that girl. Peace negotiations. It's being said that when women were ruling, they went centuries and centuries and didn't even have to go to war. It's been said that when women were ruling, they went centuries and centuries without even going to war. Once the male and all of his birth defect and degeneracy, once he got here, that's all he was thinking about was war. And why? Because he has a degenerate Y chromosome. We'll definitely get into that. Right now, we on what is family, and I'm breaking down the true order of family and what it is. It's with women. And when I tell women, you know, pre-colonial women, they were 15 to 20 women in the house. Oh, but how is that natural? What are you talking about? So you mean to tell me getting slapped upside your head, getting told lies, being ridiculed, you mean to tell me that's natural? A man lying to you every single day? A man leaving the house and on a Monday and ain't coming back on a Sunday, that's natural? Instead of having the divine feminine in your home, you don't have to tell women to take care of your children. You got women that'll just help you with your children and you don't even know them. That's the correct order. You got women talking about witches, but one of the interesting thing about witches lived in the house together. Witches went off of each other's energy. Witches didn't degrade themselves for men. They enjoyed their power. And the ones that mess up and give their power to men, guess what? They was up out of there. Y'all want to bring in a lot of emotions when it comes to these men. I'm not on that. I'm on emotional intelligence. Men got y'all overly emotional because that's how they can swoop in. But stick around at the BlaK Family Podcast. Here with your host, Tina Farley. And them games ain't going to be able to be ran on you. You ain't gonna be going through that no more. Family, I'm getting ready to get up out of here. We've been on here for a good hour. I'm not gonna keep you too long. I love each and every one of you. But I wanted you guys to know what's the real order of family. It's with the women. Point blank period. Women, you're doing all of the work anyway, so imagine if you had 15 to 20 women helping you out with your children, helping you out with the housework. Each and every one of you have a part. This one does the cooking. This one does the working. Well, I know a lot of you guys will work, but you have those there that could do the caregiving. Men will say, "Oh, you need a man there to protect the house." You don't need no man there to protect the house, because that's if something happens. Most of the time, nothing happens. You can be in your house for 10, 20 years. You may never even have a break-in. When men say, "Let me get into your house so I could protect it," don't you know that is an insurance scheme? That's why they have you get insurance, just in case something happens to your car, just in case something happens to your home, just in case something happens to your phone. And let me help you out with some critical thinking. Let's look at this nuclear family fantasy, right? The man is at work for 8 to 9 hours. So what is the woman doing? The woman is protecting, leading, and providing for the home. She's the one who is going out, paying the bills. She's the one who is cooking and cleaning. She is the one dropping the kids off at school and picking the kids up at school. She is the one that's making sure that the home is maintained. She is the one that's leading the children. She is the one that is nurturing the children and making sure that the home is in great condition. So if somebody comes to rob the home, you think that man is going to make it in time to come and protect? No, he's not. You've been sold on an insurance and just in case scheme. I know. Most women never looked at it that way. But let me tell you something. Stay tuned to the BlaK Family Podcast. And that spell that men got you up under, you ain't going to even have to worry about that no more. And you are under basically your own spell, because men, the only way a man can cast the spell on you, he got to go through a woman. I'll get into that for another time as well. I'm just prompting you guys on some things. But the man does not have a portal. He doesn't have a womb. So he cannot do all of this mystical, magical things that I think he can do. He only has private area. And that's why you'll notice he's always amping that up and stuff. Because to be honest, that's all he got. He don't got leadership skills. He's not bringing anything to the table. That's why he wants you to bring what you bring to the table. And he know you bring everything. And women fell into that scheme. In the podcast manosphere, you fell into that too. That's okay, because we're going to work it out. But it's really up to yourself. I'm about empowering women, but women have to understand. You have to accept the truth. Women don't want to take accountability, and you don't want to accept the truth. Anytime somebody tell you the truth, you want to fight them. I'm a fighter, so bring it on. I'm a fighter. So let the rounds begin. Because at the end of the day, how we're going to heal this planet is the women got to be back at the top. That's the only way, is with the women. And it has to be with the women. So that's what I wanted to leave you with, is that you are that girl. You just have to believe it. Peace, love, respect, family. You have been tuned in to the BlaK Family Podcast. Black Power.